This video is going to be covering Dotloop, which is our e-signature and file storage program. To log in, you go to www.dotloop.com, type in your username and password that Barb will set up for you. When you log in, this is the screen that it comes to. Down here, you will see all your loops or your transactions that you're involved in. Up here, you have your different icons. You have your dashboard, which is going to tell you your active listings and your sales and your under contract and all that good stuff. This circle is your loops again. Here are your tasks. You can set up different tasks that need to be done. As you can see, I have two different tasks that need to be completed. Sometimes the transaction coordinators will put tasks in there for you to do. You can make your own list if you need to remember what needs to be done. Your people are all the people that have been in your loops and that you could set. You could set up different inspectors or lenders or whoever so that they can share stuff with you and your clients. Your contacts are all your clients and agents that are in there. All of the agents in our MLS are already in here, so they should pop up whenever you start typing a name. They were put in by the system. We have all of our templates over here. They have all of the documents from, if you're part of the Lawrence Board of Realtors will have their documents. The Sunflower Association also has their documents. We have ours. We have our buying and selling, and then there's a few additional documents for you in this CBGB folder right there. Over here is just your profile, like your account information and all that good stuff that you'll set up when you first get in. So let's go back to a loop. How you create a new loop and get e-signatures for your clients. You click on create a loop right here. Name your loop. We usually name it by the address. That's what the transaction coordinators will name it by. They'll create a loop for you when you have a new listing, and then when you turn in a buyer contract, they'll also make their own loop for that. So once I get a contract, I usually transfer all my documents from the loop that I originally created over to the new one, so that way I only have one and I can archive the other one. Let's see. We'll make a new loop. We'll just make up an address. We'll just say 123 Main Street. This isn't going to be a real address. Most of the time, the addresses are going to pop up right here. As you can see, I started typing in 123 Main Street, Rossville, picked it up. That's powered by Google. Google finds those addresses. So we're just going to click Create Loop. And then you can, here's your loop, here are your people. So say I had a buyer or seller, I could add their names in here. We could just say Joe Buyer is we're going to be on the selling side, so we're going to be a buyer's agent. We'll just add an email. I'll just make it my own email. Role, you have to put a role in, and that person is the buyer. So we'll just click add person. Two people can be, oh, my email is already in the system, so we'll use a different email. Everyone has to have a separate email, so if your clients have the same email, if they're husband and wife and they use the same email, they can't do that, so they'll either have to sign by hand or they're going to have to make a new email for themselves. So you just click add person, and so you see Joe Byers in there, and you see all your templates and all that stuff. You can attach files from an email, you can browse and find a PDF from your computer, or you can use the templates that are selected. So let's say we wanted to fill out a contract and have them sign it. So you just click on Sunflower Association of Realtors documents, and then go down to Uniform Contract, click on that, click copy, and just hit OK. Now when you open that contract, you're going to see the buyer, seller, all that stuff. You can fill in this information, and you can fill in like the purchase price and the financial information, earnest money, closing dates, and it'll automatically fill it in on the contract for you. Or you can just not do that and X out of it, and then you can actually type into the contract and stuff will pop up. So today's September 29th is the prep date, and you just type in the seller's name, and then over here you can type whether they're married or single, and then you can just check the box for joint tenancy or not, and you just go down, fill out the contract, and then as you can see right here, is we have the signature or initial boxes, excuse me. You can click on those and then you can assign them to your buyer or seller up here. So because we put him in as a buyer, it automatically goes, the initials automatically go in the boxes that they're supposed to. So it does it all for you. Let's see. If you wanted to add a signature, you could click on this box and say assign field. Maybe they don't want to get inspections and you just click on Joe Buyer and his initials show up right there. Up here, you can add signatures and initials and all that stuff. Let's say we made like a small change in the contract. Let's say that, maybe you wanted to change something in the termite inspection or something, and you wanted to change this from buyer's choice to seller's choice. You could strike through that right there and add, or if you just wanted to strike that out, you could. And then if you wanted to add an initial, you could just click on the add initial box and it'll show up, and you can assign it to Joe Buyer, and then you can add the sellers as well. And then if you hit delete, maybe you hit, and then you can do the same thing if you wanted to upload a PDF and add signatures. Like say the other agent had their client sign by hand, and then you need to have your client sign. You can do the same thing and add the signatures that way. More stuff up here. You can do an in-person signing, like if your clients are sitting right next to you, and you can let them use the mouse and sign. And then it'll actually kick you out, and after they're done signing, and have you log back in just to make sure that it is the right person. And then after you're done, you click save and share, and it's going to this will pop up, and it'll say 9 fields assigned, so it has all the initials filled out for you, and then you can do can sign. If you're sending to another agent, you want to do can edit in private, so that they can, if they need to add signatures or change something, they can. But if they would change something in the contract or anything like that, it will take off your buyer's signatures. So don't worry about your buyer signing something and then worrying about the other agent changing it with your buyer's signatures already in there. You can also add other people. You can add the PDF to the email. You can enter a custom message right there. So that's kind of how you add a document. I'll do an example of just adding like a PDF. Let me see. So this is how you put a signature on a document that's already been filled out or something like that. So let's add this inspection in here. Let's say we wanted our clients to sign the inspection just so we can say that they've seen it. So we click on it. Here's the inspection. Let's say that we wanted to have them sign this first page. So we could just hit File, Add Signature, and the signature box is going to pop up, and you can assign it to your buyer or seller. Will sign it to Joe Buyer. Joe needs to sign the front of this just to say that, he's seen it or whatever. And then you can also add text or dates or check boxes, all those other things on documents that you upload into there. It'll ask you to save the changes before you leave or download. You can download these documents to your computer just by clicking, no, we don't want to share it. So say we wanted to download this document, we could do File, Download, or File, Print if you want, and it's under File right here. Okay, and we'll go back. Once you have all your stuff ready for your transaction coordinator, you can click Submit for Review, and a box will pop up and it'll ask you why you're submitting for review, and you can type in a message and tell them why you're submitting for review. Over here you can see who you've shared the stuff with. It says admin. They're all going to go to, the admin is the TC, so the TC will have access to all your documents, but the other agent will only have access if you give them access. And then sometimes it'll ask you if you want to put someone on your team. You always want to say no, you do not want them on your team. You just add them as an agent, as a seller's agent, buyer's agent, or like a buyer or seller client. Over here, you can open, rename, make a copy, do all these things. You can archive. That's how you delete. There's no delete button on Dotloop, just in case you want to see something again. Up here is the little transaction type. They're the tags. So let's say that, like I said, this was you're on the buyer side, so you could do purchase, and maybe this is just a pre-offer, or maybe it's under contract. Then you can change the status to under contract. If you just want to get rid of this loop, let's say the offer didn't go through, you just wrote it, didn't go through, or whatever, or you just made a loop to store some documents, you could archive them. So just hit archived and it'll go away. And up here, when you click on back to your loops, that's how you go back to the home page. You can look for any of your loops by searching right here. The only ones that I have right now up are my active listings and my under contracts. So you could actually update your filters if you wanted to see all your archived or sold listings, if you needed to go back and look at a previous transactions documents. So that's kind of Dotloop activity log. It'll send you emails whenever something happens in the loop, but you'll get notifications if you have the app on your phone, or you can look at the notifications in here. You can see when your clients have viewed a document or when they've signed it. So you can, if they viewed it but they haven't signed it, you can say, hey, do you need help signing the contract, or something like that. When they sign it, it's super easy. It'll send them an email inviting them to the loop. They'll just click create a login and password. They'll go in there and it'll have them click on every box and sign it, and then it'll send a copy back to you, and then it'll also give them a copy saying that everything is completely signed. When you send a loop through e-signature, make sure your clients understand exactly what they are signing. Sometimes some of them get a little click happy and just automatically sign everything without looking it over. So you want to make sure that they look it over before they sign anything and make sure they understand it all. But it's a really cool tool to use. It's very fast, and like I said, it tells you exactly who views the loops and who is in it, and who has the documents and everything else. So it's a great tool. Once again, if you have any questions, Barb is actually the Dotloop expert around here. So if you have questions, please feel free to ask Barb, myself, once again, Amanda, or Gary.